As per Intel, their new i9-10900K is the fastest gaming CPU right now currently in the market. But my question is how much CPU matters or even matters at all when it comes to gaming? Well, if you have the same question as me, well then today I'm gonna explain that. First thing first, yes, the i9-10900K is the fastest gaming CPU right now available in the market. And yes, CPU does matter when it comes to gaming, but how much? Well, to know that, first you have to know a term called GPU bound. Well, what's that? Well, it's a fancy way to say that your GPU is limited or the GPU is the bottleneck. So, what do I mean by all of this? Well, I will come on that later. But to explain how much CPU matters, I think I need to compare the i9-10900K to some other CPU. And I'm thinking what would be the perfect contender for, this heavy hitter? Hey, how about the Ryzen 3 3300X? And wait, before you jump to the comment section and start, you know, saying all that stuff, I know what you're thinking, but just wait, listen to me. I know this sounds very nonsensical that comparing a 10 core CPU to a 4 core 4 thread CPU is rubbish, and I kind of agree with you, but this comparison will make this video very much interesting, believe me. But before getting into the benchmark and showing you the test result, I have to clear one thing, and that is all the test result you will see in this video is not done by me. I took all of that test result from a media outlet. I think media outlet is not proper. I think it's media company or Engadget. I'm sure you heard the name of it. I love the website, love the videos. They know what they are talking about, unlike some other uh, company, or outlet, whatever, building PC with tweezers, and that was a mess. And you know what I'm talking about, and who are you? So yeah, that was a total mess. But hey, don't get distracted, and let's talk about what they use to test this as those two CPUs. Well, there are motherboards. It's very simple. Well, the main two important thing which you need to know, they used 16 gigabytes of RAM and a Radeon 7 GPU, and that is a very interesting choice. And which I'm going to talk about later. But if you want to know more about the whole system, well, here's the video. Check it. They also talked about a bunch of stuff which are interesting, so you can check it out. It's totally worth it. So now here is the benchmark for you. Told you the result's going to be interesting. Well, honestly, when I first saw the result, I was kind of like, what really happened here? But later when I start analyzing it, it all started making sense. So yeah, the results are not manipulated or anything. These are legitimate results. So what happened? As we see, the difference between those two CPUs in 1080p low settings is there, but when it comes to 4K ultra, no, not by much. So what really happened here? Well, to know what happened here, we have to know how the whole thing work when you play a game. Well, GPU, as it stands for graphics processing unit, it processes your graphics, so means it creates all those frames. So GPU creates graphics, and in the other hand, CPU is there and asking your GPU, hey bro, send me some frames. So your GPU hit some frames to your CPU, then your CPU send those frames to your monitor where you do your inputs. You fight, you run, you race, whatever game you're playing, that depends on you, and it gets refreshed every single second. So every second your CPU tells your GPU, hit me bro with some frames, then your GPU hit your CPU some frames, and then CPU delivers it to your monitor. And this is the simplest way I can explain to you guys, and this is not the 100% technically correct explanation. So now let's talk about what really happened here. Well, think like this, that the GPU was Walter White, the Ryzen 3 3300X is Jesse Pinkman, and the i9-10900K is Gustavo. You know who I'm talking about. I love that show. But let's get to the topic. So, when our Walter White makes the stuff, frames, and when he makes good stuff, he cannot make a lot of it, because good stuff needs a lot of processing and all that thing. And in the same way, Gustavo Frink and Jesse Pinkman have their own limit, that how much they can sell. Jesse can sell a little bit less, Gustavo sell a little bit more. And I'm not getting like true Breaking Bad, just understand this. So when Walter White makes a lot of stuff which is not 100% great, like 1080p low settings, so he can make a lot of it. Okay, but as I earlier said, Jesse and Gustavo have their own limits. So Jesse can sell 90 and Gustavo can sell 100. So when Walter White making 100 stuff, Jesse is selling 990 and Gustavo is selling 100, the proper 100. But when our Walter White making good stuff, he only can make 50. When the stuff count is lower, then Jesse and Gustavo sells are same. There's not a lot of difference until Jesse do his stuff. Well, this was the Breaking Bad explanation. I don't know why I did that. I think I made this whole thing complicated. But the thing is, the difference between those two CPUs, you are only going to see that difference when you are playing 1080p low settings, because the more you go up in resolution and quality, the lesser performance gap between those CPUs you are going to see, because then your GPU is going to be the bottleneck, not your CPU. Well, I think that explains that how much your CPU matters when it comes to gaming. But as I earlier said, that the Ryzen 7 which they choose, or sorry, the Radeon 7 which they choose for their testing, it was very interesting choice, because Radeon 7 is not a new GPU, and even when it launched, it was not the best or even considered as a 4K capable GPU. It can play, it's still decent, but it was not like the best when it comes to playing 4K games. So why I think this was interesting, because it's kind of reflects what most of the people are going to do. Well, if you are using a lower tier GPU, then obviously you are budget conscious, or you don't have $1,000 lying around to spend on your GPU. Then you are going to spend lesser on your CPU. And it's all about the balance. And that is the reason, if you ask anybody from the tech community that what CPU is best choice for you, the most of the answer you're going to get is the Ryzen 5 3600X. Not even the X model. I will suggest you the 3600, because the topic was i9 and our Ryzen 3. So who win? Well, nobody. The both of the CPUs are very good when it comes to gaming. AMD has like improved in like huge way, and like they have come a long way. Like, I'm just thinking about the bulldozer architecture and how terrible it was, and what is the Zen architecture right now. And also I'm thinking about Intel, because they also have come a long way. When Skylake first launched, most of the people just like, wow, this is like awesome performance and stuff. But we have seen the same architecture from the Skylake. Like, it's based on 14 nanometer, and I said in like a numerous amount of time in my videos that yes, at a certain thing, these Intel CPUs are still the best right now gaming. But I don't think not a lot of people are buying a PC only for gaming. Yes, people does, that is also true, but honestly, majority of the people also buys PC to do some PC work. So in that terms, AMD is right now better, but that's a conversation for another day. But well, let's answer the question. Does CPU matters when it comes to gaming? Yes. How much? Not a lot. Do you need to spend all of your money for your CPU? Absolutely not. Do you need to pair a Ryzen 3 with 2080 Ti? Hell no. So what you need to do? Pick a balanced configuration, like which is good when it comes to CPU task, a CPU intensive task, or and also good when it comes to GPU task, making graphics and do all the graphics intensive stuff. So I think I explained whatever there is to explain, and if you want to see a dedicated CPU versus GPU comparison, let me know in the comment section and tell me in the comment section that what you thought about this video. If you liked it, hit the like button. If you hate it, leave it as like. That works for me. Although it will hurt my delicate little feelings, but you can do that. And if you want to watch more from our channel, which I know you want, so check out this video right here. And if you want to subscribe to our channel, which you should, because tomorrow's tech news is going to be interesting as always. So yeah, check out this. You can subscribe by clicking this. And yeah, if you want to share this video, do it. It's totally free. And also, don't forget the subscribe button. Yeah. And until then, this is Akash, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.